birds in the sky, look for reasons why. Mainly what I know isn't what I know. Once I come from fear, once I hold the fire, I'll be the first one down. I'll be the first.
Hello and welcome to another vlog. In this vlog I'm going to be covering photographing waterfalls. For those of you who know me and watch this channel, you know that I do like taking photographs of waterfalls. It's one of my favourite things to do, and I have over the years shot quite a few waterfalls up here on the Yorkshire Dales. Today is no exception. The video I'm going to show you that I shot yesterday is from up on the Dales as well. If you're new to the channel, please do take the time to like. I'd really appreciate any comments or questions, and please do subscribe. There's a link down in the bottom corner there for you to do so. Thank you so much for the people who have subscribed so far. It's been amazing to see the channel growing and the amount of views going up, which is brilliant. It's why I do the thing in the first place. So with that, let's just get on with it and let's go into the video. To Waterfall. I'm here taking a couple of shots of waterfalls. I'll talk you through different shots. I've actually moved away from the waterfall because it's very noisy down there, so hopefully you can hear us a little bit better here, although it is quite windy. In terms of the weather, it's perfect conditions for waterfall photography, and I love the getting moody skies in the shots if I can. With this particular waterfall, it's covered by trees, so there's not much in the sky, and I won't be actually including much sky in the shot. The setup I've got at the minute, I'm shooting at about f8, 200th of a second, and at that shutter speed it'll freeze the water from the waterfall quite a lot, and it's not really the look that I'm after. I like a little bit of movement, although I'm not often using the full smoothness, the really long shutter speed. It has its place, of course, but I do like to see a little bit detail and texture in the actual waterfall. So that's the shots I'm going to go for. The first shot I'll put up, like I say, is f8, a fast shutter speed, and you will see that shot now on screen. The next shot I'm going to go for is a longer exposure, so I'm going to put a polarizer on. That'll reduce the amount of light coming in to hit the CCD, and hopefully it'll have a nice result. I'm just going to have a play around with the aperture and the shutter speed just to see what I get, and again I'll put the first example and see which one you prefer. The other thing I'd like to mention is I'm using a remote release, and I've got my camera set up and mirror lock up, so there's no vibration at all, which is going to affect the rest of the picture with camera shake. So my mirror's locked up. I also close the eyepiece so no stray light gets onto the image, because you can end up with purple marks on your final print if you keep that eyepiece window open, and with long exposures that certainly will happen on the Nikon D800, so that's one thing definitely to be aware of. So let's see what we've got. Hello again guys, I'm at this waterfall. It's called Coast Waterfall. It's just on the edge of a small village in the Dales called Cray. It's actually in Wharfdale, and what a stunning location this is. It's a brilliant waterfall. I have photographed it a couple of times before, but I want to give it another crack today. I've got my polarizer fitted to the front of the lens just to slow down my shutter speed. I'm on a low ISO, which will also help in getting the shutter speed down. Obviously I'm on a tripod. I want to lock the mirror up so there's no shake inside the camera body, and hopefully that'll give me a nice crisp shot. Like I say, I have got the polarizer. The clouds are quite nice, but the sun is in and out all the time. So let's just see what we get. I think I may try to get the drone up as well to see what that looks like. So yeah, let's go for it. I'm just about finished up here now. Just to go through the camera settings again, I'm on as low as possible ISO, in this case ISO 50. I'm choosing quite a small aperture again to get a better or longer shutter speed. I've also got fitted to the front of the camera a polarizer, which really helps reduce the light onto the CCD chip, which again helps with getting a longer exposure. I'm using a remote release, which prevents me from touching the camera and wobbling the camera. The camera's on a tripod, and also what I'm doing is I'm closing the eyepiece so that no stray light gets onto the chip and ruins the image. You usually get like a purpley cast over the image if that's not closed, okay? And that's about it. Let me just show you on the camera. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention mirror lockup as well. The mirror lockup is on. The camera's on a tripod, and I've got a polarizer fitted to the front of the lens, which you can see is quite dark, which again prevents any light from sorry, not any light, prevents the amount. It doesn't even prevent what am I talking about? Hold on, give us a second. Which reduces the amount of light getting to the chip, okay? Sorry about that. Alright, so there you go, that's it. I'm going to move to a final location. I think that's if my wife agrees. She sat in the car waiting for me, which is very nice of her. So what I want to do is, let's see if we can go to one more location, have one more try getting a nice waterfall shot, and we'll see how we go. So I did manage to get to that last waterfall. The waterfall's called Cauldron Falls. It's near the village of West Burton. It's very easy to get to. I would recommend that you go there because you can hone your skills practicing waterfall photography, because you can get right around the waterfall, and it's a really nice place anyway just to visit. The village is very nice. What I failed to mention in the video was the fact that when I was using the polarizer, one thing that I didn't mention is that a polarizer is very, very good at reducing reflections on the water as well, on the surface of the water, and it can actually penetrate the surface of the water, knocking out the reflections, okay? As you can see, it's quite dark glass, and what you do, you just rotate the front element of the glass, and that reduces the reflections down. It's also very good for getting a very blue sky, polarized light, and it's also amazing for increasing saturation of colours as well when the sun's shining. And the final thing to say probably on filters is, this is an ND filter. It's a 10 stop ND filter. And what this does is it cuts down a whole load of more light. As you can see, it's as black as a witch's hat, and it's really good for cutting out the light. So with this fitted, a 1/4 second exposure would give you an exposure of 4 minutes, which gives you that really all singing, all dancing, smooth effect, if that's what you're after. So that's a 10 stop ND filter. They're circular, or you can get square ones as well. The other thing to mention is, I talked about a remote release. This is one here. I got this off eBay for a couple of quid. It does the job. It's effective up to around about 60 meters, and it's fine for what I need it for. So that's about it. What I would say is, if you are photographing waterfalls, please do be careful near the fast flowing water. Obviously the rocks are extremely slippery. I fell in only once in my career of taking pictures of waterfalls. I've only fell in once, and that was last year up in Coastland, and my front of my shins hurt a lot. Okay, so just take care. With that then, thanks again for watching. Please do subscribe like I mentioned, and I'll leave you with some of my favourite shots from yesterday. Thanks again, take care of yourself, bye bye.